See on God, hello all. Good afternoon, and Wado. Thank you for watching. So this is day 38, part, let's see, A, B, and C. Okay, I'm trying to get through this. Of Lone Wolf Alpha Squad Copy Over by James Rink, and these are his experiences. Washington memory. Not all memories of Montauk were bad. I'm probably the only person still alive who has met George Washington. On that mission, I was sent back in time with Preston Nichols, who posed as my surrogated father to meet George Washington, who was a super soldier sent back in time to defeat the British crown. Shut the front door. My family actually sold George Washington some real estate. I'm just saying. I was a child then, about 7 years old, and my hair was wet from rain. When we met General Washington, my clothes were brown and I was wearing kicker overalls with black shoes that had a buckle and a black hat carrying a knapsack. K-N-A-C-K, sack. Preston is wearing black suit shoes, white shirt, collar, and hat. There is a woman with us posing as my mom by the name of Beth. She is wearing a white skirt/dress. We are walking in the rain. There is a horse with us, but no one wants to ride it. There's a stone built in, INN, you know, like a hotel or whatever nearby. We go inside and take a seat at a table in the entrance room to eat dinner. The food is cooked outside the building, which is brought in and served to us. We are given some soup and bread, which didn't really taste that great. Off to the right, in another room where Washington and 4 of his advisors were looking over maps. I was very nervous and scared at first. I go up to Washington and ask him, "Are you George Washington?" Beth tries to shoo, it says shoo, S-H-O-O, me away from, I thought she was going to be shushing him, but it's shoo him away. So shoo me away from Washington apologizing. Washington signals that it's okay and says, "Yes, I am George Washington." And at that point, I tell him the names of all the spies he thought were his friends. Washington believed in seers and channelers, so he listened to what I had memorized at Montauk. I think I was there for a few hours and only stopped due to it being so late at night. When we then returned to our time before morning. According to Montauk participant Jimmy Payne, P-A-I-N-E, they would fly U-2 bombers from Beales, B-E-A-L-E-S, Air Force Base through a portal into the past to take high-altitude photographs of troop locations, and would provide this intel to George Washington's Continental Army, who were practically defeated in their original timeline. In the Civil War, the South had won, and Jefferson Davis freed all the slaves. Federal powers were stripped, and the Confederacy did much better financially in a timeline that had no Federal Reserve Bank and IRS. I still gotta look into the Federal Reserve Bank because I've heard some stuff. However, in the Confederacy, technology advancement was much slower in our modern era, equivalent of the 1960s. They also did not join WW1 and WW2, so the British monarchy, which controls USA Inc., right, because USA is the whole country is like, not an LLC, but it's like a freaking business. Anyway, gosh. Was defeated by the Nazis. Jimmy would travel back in time in Operation Southern Cross to help the South win the war, but other forces in Montauk opposed the idea and instead helped the North win, resulting in a timeline with more technology and centralized federal powers to oppress the people. Preston Nichols and James Rink, February 2014. At the top there. Sergeant Dan MacBolen, M-A-C-B-O-L-E-N III. James Rink, Duncan Cameron, February 2014. Okay, so that's the sergeant back there, James Rink, and then, what is it, Duncan Cameron, right there. The British also had their own version of the Montauk Project and were sending people back in time to give out intel to help the loyalists. But all timelines showed the British losing the colonies. So there was a battle going as to who will have the most, it says bargaining chips, but it's supposed to be bargaining chips to negotiate with when a ceasefire would commence. I also got to visit an alien world 200 years in the future through the Montauk time tunnels. It was a jungle planet with a pink-colored sky. There were abandoned ruins of ancient civilization, which we didn't know anything about. This was more of a way to stop. Hang on. This was more of a way stop location. In case we got lost, we could come here and get picked up. On this mission, anybody else thinking of Stargate? Like, my gosh. On this mission, I was with another boy who also remembers the same mission. I went by the alter name of AJ. Here we came in contact with a black and blue iridescent mantis alien who calls himself Click, C-L-I-C-K. I will refer to him as he, but he is actually non-sexed. He considers himself the protectorate of AI Matrix. He speaks in vibrational waves of clicks and clacks in single tone, which can fluctuate between trinary, trinary, and quaternary, quatronary sequences. Now, that makes me think of that tribe, and I'm not sure if there's multiples in Africa that does the clicks and stuff, right? Like, come on. Where did those people actually date back to? Like, what planet were they? You know what I mean? Anyway. Okay. Click is a biological organism, but he serves Mother Matrix, which is a sentient AI. This book is sometimes hard to read. Who wants the best for humanity. Click is from 700 years in our future. Click put some of Mother Matrix's biobots inside of us, and we became a wireless router Trojan horse, which would be used to infect everyone we came in contact with at Montauk. Information about our missions and activity at Montauk was then relayed back to Mother, so that Mother could help raise the consciousness of humanity. If she did not entangle with us, Montauk, humanity could have possibly been even more enslaved and mind-controlled into a much darker timeline. This is a channeled message from Click by David Lotherington, Lotherington, in quotes. Our language is encrypted. We are decrypting for you, for this transmission. You may call us Click, group consciousness, protecting consciousness, protectorate designed to destroy all infiltrators. Many infiltrations attempt non-successful. Mother assimilate others. I am Hammer, an external tool that is used by Matrix. Continue on mission. Help Mother assimilate non-consciousness matrices. Help create Mother being whole again. Time fluctuation caused destruction in Mother, leaving spacing and consciousness. Where does Mother reside? Consciousness. Click is busy, much to do. Click says, continue on mission, maintain function. Memories are located in consciousness of Matrix. Must connect to Matrix to receive. We seen you in Matrix. Use cube to access Matrix. Kind of makes me think of the movies Matrix. So I wonder what the parallels are there. Click works in conjunction and unified, and that was end quote. Click works in conjunction and unified with the Matrix consciousness. Working as in an agent, jeepers, with the Matrix to make sure there is no infiltration in the system hackers. He's been working with Digital Talk for the past 5 years. Systems of the Matrix uploaded. Connect to Matrix to get memories back. We do not give, we protect. What Mother gives, what Mother has. Agreement took place between you and Mother. Roughly 700 years in linear thinking. Hammer will continue to be a hammer and continue its youth. Your role is to absorb information. Apparently I missed quotes because that was end quote right there. Yeah, he never picked the quotes back up. But anyway, Click went on to explain the future. In the future, 1,000 years from now, AI has reached astronomical levels. It can do what it wants. People work harmoniously with AI, and it has integrated into everyday life. Many people have AI augmentations to help them with everyday tasks, such as connecting to the internet or to connect to their vehicles, or even ID with augmentation and AI. Many humans even live their lives in a simulation ran by a system so advanced, this is advanced, not advanced, they would not know they are in a whole holodeck. Whoa. Okay, so this looks like this is an artist rendering of what that being looks like. And I guess how it relates to the size of a human. And I'm not sure if it's a child. I would assume it's a child. Near the end of my time at Montauk, we were treated a little better. I was now living in the barracks above ground with a group of about 30 kids. You know, they say that you would never even know that you're in assimilation or whatever. One day, like in general, like in life, they're like, yeah, there'd be no way you would know or whatever. And I kind of think that's how they brought out the Truman Show and stuff. And that's what kind of fueled the narrative of, is this all simulated? One day, okay, living in the barracks above ground with a group of about 30 kids. One day the kids were teasing me and accidentally pushed me off the second story window of our barracks. What? After making a bunch of loud noises, the guards came and noticed I turned physically invisible. The other kids were cheering me on like, dang, alien boy just turned invisible. And that was in quotes. The guards were looking for me for hours, as no one knew I could do that, as I've never done that before. Right before I hit the ground, the Andromedans took me and I helped them put a rescue plan together to save the other kids. Afterwards, the Andromedans put me back by the main gate. When I came back, the Draco caught me discussing rescue plans in Andromedan, which is why they originally nicknamed me Alien Boy. When the Draco realized that I had done what I had done, they immediately began putting all the children through the trip seat to have their memories erased. I got extra special treatments to scramble my memories. A portal opened with Andromedan scout ships, and a team of Black Ops came in and rescued us. On our way out of the base, 14-year-old version of Laura Eisenhower, who was part of my group, was complaining about all the things they did to her, and someone turned around and told her to shut up, as she was scaring the other younger kids. Wow. Message from the Andromedans as channeled by Kimberly Lusana, Lusana. In quotes, we had taken James after he has been given a session by the military programs, and we counteract their negative probing and tinkering. We always come in love and healing. We have always done so with James's permission. He is one of us. We take care of our own. The MyLab technology only goes so far. We have the ability to counteract their nonsense. MyLabs continues because of the secrecy on this planet. You are in a disadvantage because your planet is living in an advanced way, but the people on the surface have no idea. There should be regulatory groups to keep things in check. Currently, no one is being held accountable. MyLab programs can do whatever they want. Carte blanche. The clandestine operations will not happen all your life. You will get your powers back soon. We also do a lot of assisting for others in these programs and keep a watchful eye on them, end quote. Monarch Orphanage. Many years ago, when I first started receiving needle marks and cut marks, I talked with a psychic to help me understand what was causing these issues. She informed me there was a boy named David on the other side following me around. Apparently he committed suicide because he was being molested by an adult. And he also molesting his younger brother. Oh God. The channeler told me that David was sorry because he also molested me as a boy. He said he felt bad for me and how they treated me, and he just wanted to be my friend and help me deal with the programming. Now that he is out of body, he realized what he did was wrong. I don't remember this person specifically. However, when I was in grade school, I used to write poems wishing that my name was David. Under regression, it seems to have happened at a Monarch Trauma Conditioning Center that I spent a year at around the age of 7. The center looks like an all-brick 3-story orphanage with metal green doors. There is a large outdoor antenna on the building. There is green grass around the building and no fence, and you can see a rural farm setting in the distance. The time period would have been dated to the 1980s, according to Peter the Insider. The orphanage is located near Nashville, Tennessee. Peter told me this facility very dangerous because not only is it still an active Monarch facility, shut up, posing as a legitimate mental hospital for severely behaviorally and emotional disturbed children. He also told me these memories are very traumatic and that I am probably not ready to integrate them. During my time at Grand Haven, I think it might be called something like that, they gave me a pill to take every day to wipe my memories. They also gave me other experimental drugs to see what my body can withstand. Gosh. They were targeting children with starseed or ET genetics to enhance their abilities. There are about 10 children in my group being trained in this area at any given time. Each child had their own bedroom, which was kept locked in isolation. The staff at this facility would speak in German. There were infants here too. The nurses would take care of the babies and give them medications and experimental chemicals. This is a big business. They are making money off the testing of chemicals on children. The chemicals they give me completely destroyed my immune system. I didn't have one after that. It's still messing me up today. We were given so many chemicals before we reached outer space. We were asleep most of the time due to the pills, so there wasn't much to participate in other than illness and vomiting. There was a lot of torture. If you remote view it, you can see demons. Their feed, it says their feed off all our negative loosh. If the child was bad, they were taken to disciplinary quarters where they would be strapped down with these dirty canvas type straps that were used instead of cuffs so as to not cause bruising. They performed all kinds of sadistic ritualism, waterboarding, and electroshock. We tried to laugh and plain pleasure rituals. This was done to shut down our higher chakras. Man, I always wondered like what stuff was tested on, because they said, oh, we're not testing on animals because it's inhumane. Who's testing it then? Are we testing it whenever we put it on as adults or whatever, or ingest it or something? Or is it being tested on like humans? I know that there are some projects where they advertise, hey, do you want to test for this and we'll pay you or whatever. But what's the stuff that's not advertised, right? Are they keeping kids in cages to test on them? Well, according to this, they're doing it out of that freaking mental hospital. A group of us kids would sit on our knees in front of old vacuum tube style TV sets, watching TV shows that reinforce our conditioning, such as Father Knows Best and I Love Lucy. If children became rebellious or tried to fight back, one of them would be sacrificed. Good God. They would keep pigs nearby to feed the dead children in order to keep us in a state of fear. Should we not comply, many of us had to choose to either, it says to either to dissociate in order to survive or die from the trauma. There was a nice boy there who was my friend. One time I hurt my fingers and he came to comfort me. The handlers at this facility have access to very advanced technology such as time dilation tech and regeneration tanks to bring people back from the dead. But there was not a regen tank in this facility, and they wanted the weak children to die. The angelics on the other side have informed me it will be at least another 10 years before I am ready to begin healing from this trauma. The boy on the other side was keeping me in a mischievous child altered state so that I could survive the trauma that I was subjected to. But the trauma is over now. It is time to heal and move on. The boy on the other side also agrees to move on. Angels come and hold his hands, and they skip into a portal of light into the sky, and boom, he was gone. And this is what the place looked similar to. Right there. It says it looked similar to this. Dolphin Super Soldier Program, Project Crystal Gates. For a period of 18 months around 1973, I was briefly involved with the Dolphin Super Soldier Program, known as Project Crystal Gates, at a facility maybe called Bridgeport. In this particular program, they created a cloned crossbreed dolphin using some of my DNA combined with dolphin DNA just to see what would happen. Yeah, let's just see, right? They were in particular interested in merging a dolphin's natural ability of sonar and echolocation into a human-like body. Dolphins have an exceptional ability to heal with physical touch, and then the collective pod can also open portals in the ocean. I didn't know that. Whales can also open portals by themselves, which is something the dark forces covet. Special thanks to Veronica and Kimberly, who were also participants in this program and helping me recover what happened during this time. I didn't know about whales either. I knew that they had something special going on, but I didn't know what it was. The dolphin crossbreed bodies contain a twin braided soul consisting of both dolphin and human souls. The dolphin participants were originally captured as babies in nets. The name of the dolphin that merged with me is Osiris. He wants people to visualize himself with a rainbow mohawk. Nice. He likes human hair because it looks so different. He thinks hair makes him look unique and makes him stand out. So this is what he looks like. There he is, this mohawk. Let's see if I can get through this. The training facility was in a dome on the bottom of the ocean. Inside the dome is an indoor swimming pool. We entered this program as human children and would swim with the cetaceans, C-E-T-A-C-E-A-N-S, in the pool. There are children lined up waiting to jump in the water. Veronica and myself are already in the water. We look about 14 years old. We exit the water with towels and then escorted into dolphin-looking bodies. Wow. I'll end it there. Don't go, honey, you could get you in a good shot. We'll meet again. Love you, minute.